I guess I probably should say I did get engaged.
And now I'm like, is it fun, Kayla? Is it?
That was actually the biggest book plot twist of 2026 because, like, literally no one asked for this. Welcome back to BookTok's podcast. This is Kayla.
And Marissa.
And in this episode, we are recording a slightly delayed mid-year check-in. And we are going to talk about what we've read so far, what our vibes are so far, where we are with our goals. To preface, Marissa has watched the video we initially put out in January of our goals for the year. I did not.
Yeah. No, it was so cute. Honestly, when I watch our videos, sometimes I'm like, how are we not famous? Like, they're fun videos. Like, we're fun and funny, I think.
Not that I want to do this for, like, just to get views and get, like, followers, because I just generally do really enjoy this. I mean, I do say, like, there was a month or two where we were getting, like, followers every week, and it felt very rewarding from the work we're putting into it. But no, I think our content's so good, and I wish we had more fans just to talk about books with. Like, our book club only has 17 people on Fable, and it's so much fun.
I know. It is fun. And two, I feel like we could create just a whole series about Maggie Gates books. And I feel like we don't have anyone to share that with right now. Like, it's just you and me talking about Maggie Gates. And like, I feel like if more people knew who we were, they could talk about her with us. But because they don't know us, like we don't know them, I'm like, what a missed opportunity here, people.
I know. I would say we had some responses on the Maggie Gates short you posted of you crying. There were people who came out of the woodwork because Maggie actually reposted it for us. So her fans, like, commented on us. I don't know if people don't know she exists, but she is the biggest surprise of 2026 so far because I felt, like, absolutely in love with her books. And I don't know how she did it because she wrote them all in the past, like, 3 years, and they're all really good. I mean, there's some that I don't like as much as others, but generally I wanna read all her books, and I just don't know if people know she exists or what, but I'm a fan.
Well, I feel like too, the context of our Maggie Gates journey makes it ironic that we love her so much because we got Dust Storm forever ago. Like, we got a copy of Dust Storm, and I think we both kind of put off reading. Like, we were going to do it for the podcast, I think last year, and then we got busy with other stuff and put it off, and we were just like, whatever, like at some point we'll read it and review it, to satisfy the obligation kind of thing. But then I don't remember what book you ended up reading. But you read one and you were like, wait, she's like really good. And then they were like, do you want to interview her? And we were like, sure, why not? Even though I had not read anything by Maggie Gates at that point. And I'm kicking myself now because I interviewed her without knowing who she was. Then I read her books and I'm like, holy crap, I love her.
No, so I actually read Dust Storms because I got all the books I physically own because we're down to, like, 10 for me.
Mhm.
So I'm like, I don't want it to catch up to me. So I'm like, let me keep them under control. And so back in October, we were supposed to interview her actually back then, and they sent us Dust Storm, and I read it, like, maybe in March. And then I emailed her publicist because they emailed us again with her new book. And they're like, hey, do you want to interview her again? And I was like, actually, I know I didn't answer your email request in October, but I would actually really like to do that. Like, I'm really obsessed with her books. And so that's kind of how that got there. So I went back and started reading her first book she ever published, which is The Stars Above Us. And I would say it's like, I think her earlier work is better. I think when she first started writing, she didn't care if she upset people. Like, she did what she wanted to. And that made the most heartbreaking stories, but they were so good. And I think she probably, like, stopped trying to break people's hearts, but she actually posted on her story. She's like, I need to start doing this again.
Literally, I saw that because it was the video of me crying. And she was like, what'd she say? Like, I get hydrated off my readers' tears. And then she's like, no, but seriously, I need to start writing like that again. I'm like, did I inspire Maggie Gates?
Because, like, so that one, which The Stars Above Us, if you read that one, like, it, like, wrecks you. There's a part in there that literally wrecks you. Like, I still think about it. And then Wild Side, well, no,
Wild.
Wild Card. Sorry, there's so many wild books. That one, oh my god, just makes my heart, like, literally melts.
No,
So
it's
good.
it's so good, so crazy. But yeah, I think back about how like I had her books sitting on my shelf for a year never touched it because I was like, who's Maggie Gates? I go into the interview. I'm like, I'm such a bish. I was just like, who's Maggie Gates? And now I'm like her number one, number two fan because I'm just like, wow, she's amazing. I have not cried over a book like that in a long time.
Preface, that interview is good. Like, I was very excited to be there. Marissa was not a bitch at all. So definitely watch that in August. So we had like timing issues with our
Mhm.
time zones where you
Yep.
thought it was one time, it was actually a different time. And
Yes.
then also we had like Wi-Fi issues. So like we really couldn't see Maggie's face for like the whole interview. Like it was like kind of blurry.
Yeah.
And my questions like were duplicated and I was like and Marissa didn't even have her questions open. So
Literally, it was like 10:58 and I was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna start prepping for the interview." And Kayla's like, "We go on in 2 minutes." Like, what do you mean?
was like sweating and I felt so bad because we've interviewed before, like we've done it well.
Yeah.
Speaking of interviews, Val Habra is coming out with a new book like next week, maybe. And I really like her hockey romance series. I read that last year. They sent me Revolve. And then they sent me the new book out. And I read it back in March immediately. So good. And I emailed them back. I'm like, I'd love to interview her. And I think we talked about it, like I would just interview her because I read all 4 of her books. And they just ghosted me. Like they did not answer me. They just emailed me asking if I still want to do an interview. I was like,
Yes.
rude. I mean, yeah,
Rude,
but
but yeah, I still
rude.
wanna do it. But, like,
I
how dare
know.
you?
She was at BookCon, Bell Habra.
We didn't see her, though.
So we might have an interview with Bell Habra. I need to brush up on that that series before I interview her. And I'm a little intimidated to go in it alone. But it is a 4-book series at this point, so it'd be a little lot for you to read. And I know they even requested those books for you because you're like, I'm not. I have too many.
Well, so that was another thing we talked about on that video, our first video of the year where we're setting our goals and all that stuff. We talked about how I need to start reading my physical books. And you're like, "Oh, it'll be like this fun little challenge." And now I'm like, is it fun, Kayla? Is it? Really? I can't even do the math. My spreadsheets aren't adding up. My calculators aren't adding up. I'm like, I thought I read 2, but yet somehow I'm up 5. I'm not understanding, but it doesn't feel fun. But like, we're making progress, I think.
Well, so when are we getting another check-in?
I mean, I would love to get one out here soon. The problem is life is just always so busy. Like, we had all these lofty goals at the beginning of the year. Again, I just watched the video. It was so cute, but we were like, we're going to do a book trip. Oh my gosh, wait, actually, I have to interrupt myself. We were like, we're going to do a book trip. We hope Sarah J. Maas comes out with a new book this year so that we can do a book trip with it. And what do you know? Like a few months later, she announces ACOTAR 6. And so we're like, oh, we should plan a trip around that. Or I don't know if we'll do ACOTAR 6 or 7, but it's just funny. It's funny watching that video and seeing all the things that we hoped would happen that like are happening because we didn't know. We didn't know if she'd come out with a new book or not. And we talked about how we were going to go to BookCon and like we didn't know what that would be like and now we know. But you can watch our BookCon recap if you want to know more.
I think we should do a trip for ACOTAR 7
Uh-huh.
because it's bigger. And I do think the winter is better for us. We can get like a really snowy cabin and watch the snowfall. We can even go back to Tennessee. Like honestly, we did well there. Or we can go to like a snowier cabin and like I want to watch the snow fall down and just read and finish the book in like one sitting.
Where is Abby Jimenez's cupcake shop?
I think that's in like Minnesota or something.
Minnesota could be cold. I don't know. I don't know anything about Minnesota.
I want like a mountain though. Like, don't you want like a mountain? Like we had last time, that view was like,
I know.
it was so good.
It was very good. Other than there were potentially rodents climbing all over the house.
Just got scared. Like, I think I'm a wimp, but so I do want to plan a trip still. We kind of had our BookCon trip and then life has gotten, quite busy for both of us. And then, so maybe January, I think would be a really great start to the year. We have a book trip. Work for us is not that busy yet. Like, things are just like kind of getting back from break. So I think that could be like a fun trip to do.
And I had the option to teach national teaching at my firm either in November or January. And I chose November because I was like, well, if we do ACOTAR 7 in January, I don't want the dates to like mess up. So I'm doing work stuff in November, but I'm like, all right, I'm leaving my January open just in case. And yeah, like a snowy cabin would be good. And just sit down with a Sarah J. Maas book. I feel like we would read it so fast. Our mistake last time was that we picked Iron Flame, which I'm sorry, it is just not as good as the first book. Like Fourth Wing was so good. Iron Flame was just two people miscommunicating and arguing for 700 pages.
It was like the book after, but with magic. And the book after was so annoying.
Yeah. I saw she announced a novella in the Fourth Wing series.
Yeah, I freaking pre-ordered that and I might cancel it because I don't care. I don't need a threshing story of all these people. I'm gonna be honest. I might get a lot of hate from it. I don't think Fourth Wing is that good. Like the overall series, like the first book was so good. It was like everything you
good.
want. It was a magic school. There's dragons. Like there's a hot, broody guy. And the way she just is like dragging this out, I just feel like she rushed the next two. I don't know where she's going with it. And like, honestly, it took me so much to get through the last two books. Like me and Marissa had to take reading sprints. We had to read for an hour and then we'd watch a show and then read for an hour and watch a show. And we were in a cabin for 5 days and we didn't finish them.
Literally, it felt like a chore reading. And we were on vacation wanting to read. So the fact that that felt like a chore was so disappointing. Yeah, no, Fourth Wing was one of the best fantasy books I've read. Like, Fourth Wing was everything you would have wanted. And I think the problem is Rebecca doesn't know where it's going either. And what should have just been a 3-book trilogy, I feel like it's the Crave series all over again. She's going to drag it out because she doesn't know where it's going. She doesn't know how to wrap it up. She probably wants to kill off her main characters, but she knows there would be backlash. So yeah, I like, good on people who like it. I'm not gonna like bash anyone's reading taste if that's what you like, but I do think it's overhyped. And I think there are better fantasy series out there, both published and with books coming out, that the author knows where it's going. And so it doesn't feel like such a chore.
Yeah, I agree. I just don't love it as much as everyone seems to love it. I would say what we learned from Divergent 2.0 coming out, whatever Veronica Roth is writing her next book, is that you don't kill off the main character because then you might have to go rewrite the whole thing.
You might end up writing a fanfic of your own book that no one asked for.
That was actually the biggest book plot twist of 2026 because, like, literally no one asked for this.
Literally, she's not on anyone's radar. Like, we've all moved on with our lives. We've healed. We've gone to therapy. And what does she do but come back and say, just kidding. I want to hurt you guys again. Well, guess what? Joke's on you, Veronica. We're not going to read it.
I hope Rebecca Yarros takes note and does not do this. Speaking of fantasy books that really surprised us this year, we have 2 series that we're kind of in the middle of for the podcast. So the first one is Red Rising. We are 2 books in. We need to read the third one.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I'm excited to read. I'm getting like re-excited about it. I haven't picked it up yet because I was getting done with Thornbird and now I'm getting done with another book that I'm not excited about. And I think it's because I'm not excited about this one that I'm so looking forward to Morningstar and just like making those videos again and interacting with the community because like it was fun. Golden Sun was so much fun. And then I took a break and what I thought was going to be like a couple weeks or maybe a month, I think we're on like month 3. So like I've got to get back to it or else I will forget everything.
Yes. So we have Morningstar to read, and that was actually supposed to be this week's plan, but we got a little distracted. And then we also read Shield of Sparrows, and I did hear that book too is really good.
Yeah, I mean the first book was amazing. I assume Rights of the Starling will be good, but I'm kind of curious because both Rebecca and Devney Perry started in romance or maybe like contemporary fiction. I'm not sure what Rebecca's classification would technically be. Romance, maybe? Contemporary? Contemporary romance?
I've only read that one romance book
Yeah.
by her, and I hated it with all my heart
I know.
because she killed off a lot of people. So I don't know what Rebecca Yarros is. But Devney Perry has written like 20. I actually think I have a piece of paper with all her books on it because I was debating after I finished my Maggie Gates reading thon, I was going to start my Devney Perry reading thon. Where did I put it?
Well, I guess I'm interested to see whether her second book is as good as the first one. Because like if you think about Rebecca Yarros, I'm worried she's not cut out to do fantasy. Like she bit off more than she could chew. She went all out with Fourth Wing, which was amazing, but then she didn't know where to take it. So it's like, will Devney Perry suffer the same fate, or will it, will she capitalize and it will be great?
So from what I know, so Rebecca Yarros doesn't do series romances. She does standalone romances. Devney Perry actually does a lot of series romances. So these are all the books she's written, and they're all series. So I actually have more faith in her. And her romance books are known to be like a little bit of a murder mystery. So they're like, it's like a romance with a little flair. I forget what she describes them on her website. But, and she does write a lot of pregnancy tropes in there. So unknown if there will be a pregnancy trope. That might be there. But I think she might be able to pull this off because she's written a hell of a lot more books and she knows how to carry on a series. So we'll see.
Yeah, I'm excited for it. I'm excited to jump back in. I actually just renewed it at the library, Rights of the Starling. So I have it for a few more weeks. And like I said, I'm finishing up a book that I'm not super psyched about. And then I'm going to start reading Morningstar. And then I'm kind of like casually reading 2 books on my Kindle, but it's casual. So like, I think I'll be able to rotate between Morningstar and Rights of the Starling. And I don't know if I'll finish them both before the end of this month, but I think I'll make good headway on each of them.
Well, so it's one of the casual readings at Maggie Gates.
Yes, I think it is.
And is the other one part of the deal?
It's The Score, which, by the way, I am loving. I don't know what it is about these authors getting better and better with every book, because that is not true typically in like fantasy books. I don't know how many fantasy series where when you think back, you're like, oh yeah, like the first book was the best. And it's like that way with movies too, right? The first movie's the best, the sequel's not as good. With both the Maggie Gates series, Beaufort Poker Club, and the Off Campus series, I feel like the first books, they're fine. But like the rest of the series is where it really takes off and gets good. And so I don't know how they build on it, if it's just the fact that I'm immersed in the world and love the characters now. Like I don't know what it is, but they put something in the second and third books that just makes me grow feral.
Well, I think to the Maggie Gates book, I don't really love a Playboy billionaire trope. Like, that's not a trope that I'm like, ooh, can't wait to read this. I ate that book up.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I didn't even like, was it Hannah Jane? Like, she wasn't my favorite girl. I think it is part of the world because you just like, each book you get to know all these characters more. You want little bits of like Maddie and Luca. No, I'm in the same boat. I'm going to talk about it more in our July wrap up, but I have been reading this Jay Salmon like hospital romance series. Like I'm so deep, Marissa. Like I'm in book 5 right now of a 7-book series of the second series. I think I'm going to read them all.
Wow.
I don't even know if the writing's good, but it's like literal drugs and I can't put them down.
And I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna go there. You're actually reading them. You're not just skimming.
Yeah, so I was telling Marissa before we were recording that I was on TikTok, just like scrolling on our book account, and people were going off about like popular book like I don't even know who's popular book talkers. Like I don't go on BookTok enough to know. Like I just kind of scroll. Apparently, like they're not reading, or people are like questioning if they're reading all the books they're reading because there's so many books that they're reading. I don't know I don't know the facts. But yes, I am fully reading them. I mean, I am at the most I think I've ever been at this point in time, and I'm at 62 books. And I generally think it's a lot. Like I commute on the train, and I did cut out a lot of my phone usage. So instead of looking at my phone, I am a little Kindle, what I call myself, like a gremlin or something like that.
Mm-hmm. A Kindle gremlin, yeah.
That is me. Like every night, like I look at my Kindle and I'm like in bed till like midnight reading, and then I'm like, oh my God, I have to go to sleep because I have to go to work tomorrow. Like I don't know, I've become a little addict with reading. But I think it's also because the books I've been reading are just books I want to read. I stopped forcing myself to read books I don't care about.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think so. Like when we first started the podcast, or even at the height of our success, which was like 2022, I want to say, when we were getting lots of listeners, we made our schedule in advance and we picked out a book a week. And so there was no like, I don't want to say there was no enjoyment, but there was no mood reading going on. Like I was reading because it was my homework for the podcast, whether I wanted to or not. And I feel like the way we're doing it now, I'm able to just read things I like. And I also have read more books this year than any other year. I'm already on book, like, I think I've done 36 and I'm on book 37 and 38. And I'm halfway through the year. And normally, the biggest reading year I ever had, I I actually only hit 49 books. I almost made it to 50, but I couldn't squeeze in one more novella before the end of the year. But none of these are novellas. These are all full-length books. So like I'm on track to potentially go over 60 books, which for me, it would be like a really big year. And I think it's just like you said, because I'm reading things I'm liking, I like am actually excited about the stuff I'm reading. Especially like we found a couple series, like the Red Rising series. Like I want to read the next book in the series. So yeah, it's different when you're enjoying the stuff and not treating it like homework and not feeling like you have to read something because a publisher sent it to you. Like at this point, we're able to be a little bit more choosy about like if we get an email, we're not like, oh, we got an email, like, yay, we got a free book. We're like, I don't want to read this one. I'll pass on this one, maybe the next one, you know?
Yeah, well, we used to put our lineup and we'd fill it with we want to hit a certain number of genre per book. So we want to get like 3 thrillers, 3 fantasy, and like 3 romance. Like we try to do that. And then we try to do one classic every year. We try to do books that just came out so we can request it from the publishers. And yeah, like now we're very fortunate. We get emails like daily of books we want to read. And I'll like go through and I'll screenshot the ones I want. And then I'll go through and I'm like, well, do you want this one? Should we read this one? Which has been fun, to do and, like, get excited about books as well. Which
Mhm.
I did have one book that I got in the mail from a publisher, and I finished it, and I would say it did not live up to my hype, but I will discuss it in our July one. But I am very sad about it because I was really excited about it.
That's too bad.
I
That's
know.
too bad. But I mean, not every book is for everyone, you know? Just wasn't your cup of tea.
My issue is that he had an earring. I just, like, can't. I just, like, really struggle with it.
When there are unexpected pregnancies, we're on. But if he has an earring,
'Cause
that's
he
where we draw the
we'll
line.
get into it, but, like, I don't know. They, like, describe him as this, like, nerdy little professor,
Well,
and then
that's
he's like,
weird.
"But with his earring," and I'm like, "This doesn't fit the vibe."
Yeah, like that's not that doesn't fit. That I feel like you and I have been on that a lot. You're the one who always brings it up. Like I say it in a roundabout way and then you put it into words where you'll be like, "Yeah, this character like didn't fit with who the character was." Like they started doing things or saying things that didn't fit with who the character was. Like when we talked about Every Summer After and you were like, "Yeah, this person was just a walking contradiction." And I'm like, yeah, a nerdy professor with an earring is kind of a contradiction because I would think a nerdy professor would not have an earring. And like, I don't know, I'm just like not attracted to him. I'm imagining him being like short with long hair and an earring, and that's not my type,
Like,
personally.
there's a scene where she's like, "Oh, he must be so nervous right now. His shirt's untucked." If he's stressing about a shirt being tucked in or not, he wouldn't have an earring.
No. Did they give any backstory of like why he had the earring? Like, did he get drunk one night and it was a mistake, or
Yeah, he got drunk and all his friends wanted tattoos, but instead of a tattoo, he got an earring, but, like, take it out.
your ear will actually just close back up? Take it out. That's funny. Well, it's too bad. But yeah, I mean, I'm excited about some of the books we have coming. I screenshotted one the other day that's like a childhood friends to lovers that I was like, I just feel like after the debacle that was every year after the show, not the book, I'm not criticizing the book, but the show, I need like something good that is going to restore my faith in friends to lovers trope because right now
Yes.
I I don't want any high schoolers to ever fall in love and end up with each other because they're all so immature and stupid.
Well, speaking of people who met in high school that fell in love, I guess I probably should say I did get engaged. I know it should.
Kept seeing the flash and I was like, I don't know if I should bring it up. Like, I don't know if she wants to talk about it on the pod.
It feels like a literal prop. Also, it's a little big still, so I have like a screw on, but I do feel like I'm like wearing a costume to work. I don't know what it feels real, but yeah. In meetings on the office, I have a lot of video, and I'm always like, "Where do I do my hand?" I don't want to be like, "I'm,"
You just sit there with your hand showing. Like, I don't
just
know
in
what
case
to
you
do
didn't
with.
know.
Just in case you were curious. That's crazy. Do you want
But
to
yeah.
share the story of your friends to lovers romance?
I hope he's not home. Explain the proposal. But yeah, we did meet in high school. We have not dated since high school. So I would say that. But so on Friday, I got back from the office. I went to the office Friday and I'm like really grumpy. Like it was just like a long day. And I had more work to do. Like I had people pinging me. Like I had stuff to do. And Tom has been dropping hints all week that he wants to get his nails done so he doesn't bite, which he has done before. So it wasn't like an odd thing to do. And he's like, well, do you want to come with me? And I literally was like, no, I don't really want to go. And he's probably was like, and then he's like, I think you had a long day. I think you should get your nails done. I said, fine. So we get there, and I didn't want to go longer than he did because he was only getting his nails done. I just like wanted to like sit next to him. So I was like, I won't do color like you. So, and he's like, he like looks at me and then he like makes me go first. And then he goes, I gotta go return something. And then he like just leaves. And then he's calling me to get color. So that was like, I literally on the phone with him, I'm like, why do you care? And he's like, I don't. And I'm like, okay. So then I kind of was like, I think you might be proposing. But I don't know. I don't want to get my hopes up. So then I kept on asking a bunch of questions about what the day was like. He's like, I don't know. We're going to go to the city for my cousin, like all this stuff. So I'm like, okay, maybe we're not. And the next morning, I wasn't going to dress up. And he's like, no, we're going to get dressed up. We're going to go to brunch. I'm like, okay, fine. And I go to put this white sundress on that I bought in intention of maybe being proposed to it. And he goes, don't wear that. That's weird. And I go, he's not proposing. This is not true. Like, he's not doing it. But he was like lying left and right because he put on this like brand new shirt. And I go, where'd you get that shirt from? He goes, oh, it was in the back of my closet. And I go, never seen that before, but okay. And we take the 7:30 train into Manhattan. Like I had to wake up on a Saturday morning at 5:30 to go to Manhattan, which I go to 3 times a week. I was like very cranky. I'm like, why are we doing this? And he's like, he's his cousin Jackie. He's like, Jackie wants to go in the city. She wants to see Central Park. And I was like, why are we doing everything Jackie wants to do? I'm like, I just want to go to sleep. Like I'm so tired. So I'm like borderline very cranky. I literally texted my friends after the white dressing. I'm like, false alarm. He's not proposing. He doesn't want me wearing white. Like, this is not happening. So I'm like annoyed. And he also was like, you have to dress up. And then Jackie shows up in like a tennis dress and sneakers. I'm like, oh, I had to dress up. But they were really good. Like Jackie and her husband met up and they were like making small talk with me. Like I really like they didn't give anything away. And we're walking around Central Park and we're going to all these like picturesque spots. So, like we're at the mall, we're by the fountain, we're by that like that lake over there, and he's just not proposing. And I'm like, oh, he's really just taking me to the park. Like this isn't his plan. And he looks at me, he goes, where to next? And I was like, we can go to that castle that's like a little bit over here. And he's like Google Mapsing it. I'm like, oh, he doesn't even know where we're going. Like he's not proposing. And we're just walking to this castle. We're following his Google Maps. And I'm like spiraling. I'm like, I'm going to be so mad when I get home. Like, he really took me to all these picturesque spots and didn't propose. Is he kidding me? And then we got to the castle. And he's like, oh, I'll take pictures here. And there was like this foreign family in front of the castle. And he's like, could you guys move? And the guys, they didn't like understand him. And they like go to take his phone. He's like, no, can you just like get out of the way? So he like kicks his family out of the way and he like makes Jackie and her husband take a photo there. And he goes, okay, I'll take a photo now. I don't know how I was just so oblivious. Like I looked at his pockets before the photo too. And I'm like, oh, there's nothing in them. Like he's not, oh, I looked at his pockets before he left the house. Like nothing was in them. And then in the photo, he like turned me around and then proposed. And I was caught off then. But I would say if he didn't propose, I would have been so annoyed.
You made me get my nails done. You wouldn't let me wear the dress I wanted to wear, but you still made me go into the city. Are you really not proposing?
So that's how I got engaged this past weekend. So that's what I would say. That's why I did not start Morning Star. I was a little busy, but I know I'm starting it next after Thornbird. I am reading this book. So remember that? I think I told this story on one of another episode about how Tom took me for my birthday to this book signing and it was super awkward and we were the only people there. But so I have these books. So I picked one of them up and it's about this girl who like gets broken up with and she just like drunkenly books a tour group for 3 weeks in the UK and she shows up to the tour and it's all older women, like old women, and this hot tour guide and her. But the older women are so funny. Like they all have like these crazy stories and like they've lived so much life. And you would like it because she's really mean to the tour guide and he's like in love with her anyway. Like honestly, I'm like not liking it because she's so mean to him. And I'm like, oh, Marissa would love this.
Yeah, probably.
So that's what I've been reading. I'm trying to finish that. So I want to get more of my physical books done, and then I'll read Morning Star and
Yeah.
Thorn.
Okay, that's exciting. Yeah, no, in our beginning of the year thing video, you talked about how you and Tom were going to Yosemite and you didn't say it on the video, but I know that like after we had talked about you were like he might propose to be at Yosemite. And so like when that came and went, it was like, okay, Tom, are you ever going to man up and do it?
Well, I feel like we recorded last week, and I was like, he's never gonna propose. Like, I was like, I think I had said that. Like, I was like annoyed. I told that to everybody last week. I talked to Sodiel. I'm like, Tom's never proposing. It's so annoying.
I know. It was like an off-camera conversation we had because I think we were talking about, like, the pregnancy trope, and I was like, "Well, just tell him you're pregnant. Like, just trap him, Kayla."
Well, I guess I don't have to do that anymore.
Yay! But yeah, no, I do remember we were talking about it, though, and you were like, "I just, like, why he has a ring, like, why hasn't he proposed?" Because like, you guys went and picked out a ring, so you knew it was coming at some point, but, like, moments had come and gone, and he hadn't done it, and so it was like, "Okay, Tom, what are you doing, man?"
In my head with the nail salon, I'm like, I'm gonna wait a little bit longer till I feel like he's gonna propose. Like, I didn't think he was gonna do it because he had me waiting for so long.
Yeah.
So he did good. He surprised me. I was really very caught off guard. If it wasn't for me being stubborn about the nail color, I would never have known. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know why I was like, I don't want color. I don't know why I did that. Why am I so difficult?
It was probably, like, subconscious, like, "I'm gonna see if I can get him to admit it." Like, because like, it is suspicious, right? He's like, "Oh, you should come get your nails done with me," you know? Like, that'd be suspicious too.
Yeah, I don't know how else he would have done it without that. He
I
didn't
know.
tell my mom because he thought my mom was gonna ruin the surprise, which honestly
No.
I think she might have.
Yeah. Wow,
So
congrats. I'm sure all our 192 fans are so happy for you.
I know. I guess we should go talk to. So our goal for the year is still 500 followers. We're at 192. I need you guys to help us,
Mm, we need some
please,
help.
please. I really hoped we get like 250 by now, but honestly, I haven't lost hope. And I do think our videos are getting views. People are liking our videos.
Yeah. I was really happy when my friend from work told me that she liked watching our videos because she said it felt like two friends on a FaceTime and like she was just on a FaceTime with us discussing favorite books. And I was like, okay, well, that's the vibe we're going for. So, like, if that's coming across, then we're doing what we want to do. And hopefully people want to like participate and like join in with that. But if they don't, it's like, I don't want to do something we don't want to do just to get followers. Because I always go back to how we started our podcast in 2020 around the same time that another podcast started, that they kind of took off and we didn't really. But like, we're such different vibes. Like, we're very PG for the most part, and they were a little more R rated. And, like, they had a different setup and like, things to talk about that, we aren't comfortable maybe talking about publicly on a, where our clients could see us. So like, yeah, we don't want to sacrifice who we are. So like, it's good. Like, we're growing organically. Sometimes it is just like, I think we're so funny. Like, how do other people not think we're funny? But I think the people who watch us do think we're funny. It just takes time to grow that organically.
Yeah, honestly, I'm just vibing. I'm really okay with it. I would say going back to the PG and R-rated, not that I want to discuss it, but going into the year, I was super over smut. And not that I'm like, I need smut, but Maggie Gates puts it in that book seamlessly.
Yeah.
It was so good.
Yeah. No, I got really thrown off in the first Before Poker Club book when it started being a little 50 Shades on me. And I was like, where is this coming from? But then I was like, but I'm okay with it. I think it's done well.
Yeah, I think the issue is we were reading books that it was overkill. It could be so I mean, I go through phases all the time. Probably talk to me in like 3 months and we'll be like, I hate smut. Give me not smut. But right now I'm vibing with it. I would say the J. Salmon books are they're like a little more smutty than I prefer. And there's gone to ones where I do sometimes if it's the third smutty chapter in a row, I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna skim that one, which just because I don't need that anymore. Like I'm over it at that point. But I am hooked on that stupid series. I can't stop.
No, I'm interested to hear you talk about it because I don't know anything about that series. Oh, no, wait, you said it's kinda like Grey's Anatomy, right? Yeah, I bet it's pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a lot of, like, the one I really liked, he was, like, a single dad. He was a pediatric surgeon, and then he fell for his nanny, who was an artist. It was just,
Mm,
like, I don't know, it was so hot. And then I actually just read a surprise pregnancy trope one. I didn't like it as much as I thought. I thought
really?
I would really gonna like this one. He also was, like, very much like Cassian, where he was, like, a literal golden retriever. And he was, like, younger than her too, but it just I don't know. I don't I don't know why. I gotta articulate why I didn't like it. I've been trying to get better about writing up my review, so we'll talk about that more in July, but no, s I read 5 of her books already, so I don't I don't know if this author is. I actually like her name. She used to publish under Julie Salmon, and then now she does J Salmon. I feel like she should have kept it Julie Salmon. I feel like as a romance author, I don't see a lot of, like, one-letter initials.
Yeah, like, L. Kennedy switched to E. Kennedy for Thornbird, but that was because she was making, like, a shift in genre, and I think she wanted to kinda separate her romance from thrillers. If Jay Salmon has always done romance, I don't know why she would change her name. Also, every time you say it, I imagine it's a man, and I'm like, "Why is Kayla reading a romance written by a man named Jay?"
It also makes it sound like it's darker than it is. Like, they're
Yeah,
actually quite fluffy romances. And I wouldn't say it's the best writing in the world, but I honestly don't think it's, like, that bad of writing. Like, I'm very intrigued. I read a lot of romances and, it keeps me really intrigued. But I think she could do better with her covers and her author name.
yeah. Okay.
My critique of it. Like, I think Maggie does a really good job. Her website is super user friendly. You know where to start with books. Like, her reading guide is super helpful. Her covers are beautiful. Like, I think she's done everything to set herself up for success. And I just think she needs people like us just talking about it, and I think she'll
Yeah,
blow up.
yeah. No, she's great. I love her. I love her books. I'm excited to get back to the 3rd one because that that series is just so good. And, like, I wanna read her other ones now too. Like, I don't just wanna stick do this series and never revisit her other ones. I, like, want to read them all. I'm just also drowning in, the 150 books behind me that I can't seem to make a dent in.
I know, I know. Well, don't stress yourself out. Again, we don't want to make this a job. This is
Right,
about fun.
right.
I guess we should go in since this is a major check-in. What has been your favorite books that you've read this year?
Let me see. Because I've read some really good ones and I've also read some really bad ones. Okay, I know which one has been the honestly the best one I've read this year. I already want to reread it. That's Project Hail Mary. Like
Interesting.
it took me so by storm that like I read it and thought it was amazing. I just finally watched the show, not the show, the movie. It's on Amazon Prime now, streaming for free. So I watched it. And after I watched it, I was like, I just want to pick up that book and reread it again. Like I miss that story so much. And like it's only been a few months. I finished it in April and it's July. And like I already and I don't like rereading books, but for some reason I'm dying to reread that one. It was so good. Definitely, definitely like my favorite book I've read this year.
Interesting.
I know. I
That is
know.
I'm shocked.
I
I knew you liked it, but I didn't think it'd be, like, your best book of the year.
I don't know. Maybe it was just the Ryan Gosling effect after watching the show. Like, have you seen all those videos where people are like, this is Ryan Gosling in Project Hail Mary with glasses hanging off the face. And I was like, there is just something about that man that is so attractive with the hair and the glasses that, yeah, like now I want to reread the book. But yeah, so that's been my favorite. And then You Deserve to Know by Aggie Blum Thompson. That book also came out of nowhere for me. That was a recommendation off Facebook, off some thriller group I'm in, where someone just posted a picture and was like, has anyone read this? Because I just read it and it was amazing. And people in the comments were like, yeah, it was so good. Why is no one talking about it? I'd never heard of it, but I read it and I gave it 5 stars. It was amazing. And I actually think it's going to be adapted into a movie with some big names directing it. And I'm trying to remember now who it's going to be. I'll look that up. But yeah, I those two completely took me off. Like I'd never heard of Andy Weir. I'd never heard of Aggie Blum-Thompson, and both of those were 5 stars.
Interesting, interesting. I would say the two that really stuck out to me this year were The Night We Met by Abby Jimenez. I love this one, and I don't know why, because this trope is really not for me, but the way they yearned for each other, like, it literally hurt my heart. Like, I was, like, hurting for them. So love that one. I loved Our Perfect Storm. I think I've talked about that before. And then I also loved First and Forever from Lynn Painter.
Mm.
This one was we got as gifted. It was so cute. She's an accountant, which, you know, for us, we are accountants, so we love that. And it was like high key banter, such a good rom com. Like, I really love this. I feel like honestly we make a really good movie. It was really good. And then I talked about I Love the Boat for a Poker Club series. That was like a out of left field. Caught me by surprise. Loved that. I'm trying to think of what other books that were like really odd that I enjoyed. So actually, I'm going to go back to the books I've read in February. So I read The Heir Apparent, and I actually really like this one. So they're twins, and the girl was born like a minute late, and she was second in line for the crown.
Mm-hmm.
And her twin brother, who was signed to be king, died tragically in like a skiing accident, and her dad died. So it was like her grandmother was alive, and then like she was like next in line for the crown. And it was like kind of like Princess Diana coded a bit. And it was really good, actually. And that one has stuck with me. Those are the ones I really like. That one caught me out of like left field that I was like, oh, I really like this one. And then Expiration Date, which I've also talked about, which is when you get the date of your deadline for who you're dating. That one was like, that one makes you think.
Yeah. No, that's Rebecca Searle.
Yes.
Yeah. Those you've talked about them and they're interesting. I literally have the Lynn Painter book, and honestly I should probably read it if it's that good. Like if it makes your top like stand out as of mid-year, I kind of want to read it now.
It's also like 300 pages. Like, it's super quick. Like, it's
Yeah.
just a good read.
I also, one of my other standouts was Alchemized by Sin Lin Yu.
Oh, you did a big video on that.
I
You
did
should
do
link that.
I should link that. Oh, it was a good one. But that is not for everyone. And like, it's funny because you actually mentioned it in our beginning of the year video. You said that was one of the books you were thinking about reading this year. And I was like, oh my gosh, me too. And I did read it back in January, and it was really good. And I still think about it to this day. Like, it's been 6 months. And I still, anytime an Alchemized video pops up on my feed, I watch it because, like, it's a thinker. Like, it's not for everyone. It's very dark, very dark. And I think that's why I liked it so much. And it's not like a super happy ending. It's not like a super unhappy ending, but it's not a happy ending either. So, like, I've thought about it for months, and it's not one I recommend necessarily, but like, if you want something dark and depressing, and you're okay with really dark and depressing things, that's a good one.
See, I don't know why I don't want to reach for that one. I still really want to read Daggermouth.
Daggermouth. Oh, the one with the weird cover?
Yeah, I really want to read that one. I don't know
Yeah.
why we haven't.
I think because it had a weird cover. Well, and then it like sold out everywhere and you literally couldn't get it.
Yes, that too. I would say let's get into our biggest flops of the year so far.
That's an easy one for me, actually. I have several. This has been a weird year where like I've either read 5 stars or I've read 1 stars. Like I think because I'm just vibing, it's like I'm either vibing with the book or I'm not. And I'm gonna say one. I think my biggest flop of the year, not that it was the worst book I read, but my biggest flop is because I would have expected it to be so much better. The Shippers by Catherine Senner.
I know. That was such a letdown. I honestly like I've been seeing people like post about how much they love it, and I'm just like, have you never read any of her other books? Because this is just so not like she could do better than this.
Yeah, like her other books are so amazing. I gave it like a 3.5 and I rounded it up to 4 on Goodreads. So it's not like a 1-star book, but compared to other Catherine Senner books, like that was such a letdown. I just remember forcing myself through it and getting to the end and being like, wow, Catherine, you're so much better than this.
It was shocking. It was like, yeah, no. I forgot about that one.
Yeah, that one. But I had a couple. I've had a DNF. I had the DNF Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil by V.E. Schwab, which popular author there, and I just could not get through it. There was that one we read, How to Kill a Guy in 10 Dates.
It was my worst book of the year. Oh my God, I hate that book so much.
Yeah.
Ugh, throw it
It
out the window.
and I just don't understand mixing romance and thriller. Like, it's not a genre that's gonna be for most people. It's so niche. And, like, I do like romance and thriller, and even I read it and was like, "But I don't wanna read another one," you know?
Yeah, no. I would say so my biggest fantasy flop was I tried the series of Wings and Blood. Wings of Blood. This one has such good potential. Like the plot was really good. She was a fae who dropped in this like vampire realm and they thought she was a dragon rider because she was like built like a dragon rider. And then she's supposed to marry the vampire prince and they have to go to this magic school and she has to go to these competitions. Like it had such potential. Like they got sorted into houses and it was like such Harry Potter coded, but also dragon riders. And this writing was just so bad. And like you hated the main girl because she was so annoying and so insufferable. They had no chemistry. You only liked the main guy. Like you actually felt bad for like the bad guy because like it was just such bad writing. It was like telling it wasn't you weren't on an adventure. You were just like told all these facts. And it's like a popular series. I read 2 of the books, which I don't even know how I did that, but I'm not going to finish. It's out of
That's
there.
that's too bad because the premise does sound good, like, with an academy with magical people. That's yeah. I actually haven't read any fantasy flops per se. I feel like other than Bare Bones of the Midnight Soil, maybe that one's fantasy, but it's not like fantasy. But like I feel like I've read only good fantasy book ones, so it's too bad that that one didn't live up to the potential that it had, I guess.
I would say that was kind of my only bad ones. I reread a lot this year. Like I reread all of Throne of Glass, which was really fun. Really enjoyed that. And then I reread some romance books and I just read a lot of romance. Like I didn't really read a lot of other genres. Like it said I read 40 romances, 10 fantasy, 7 young adult, 3 sci-fi, and 3 thrillers.
It's counting Red Rising as sci-fi, I bet.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I read another really bad one. It was called The Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern. But here's what's crazy. That book has 1,130,000 ratings on Goodreads with a 3.99 average. It was higher at the start of this year, and then my book club went and tanked its average. No, just kidding. I do think it was above 4 stars, though, at the start of this year, and it looks like it is down to 3.99. But I gave it, oh man, I'm not going to tell you what I gave it. I did not like it. And my book club didn't like it. And we were all like, are we being pranked right now by a million people on Goodreads? Because how did they like it and we think it's terrible? But I think it's because the author's British. And I think it's just slower than what we would have expected from a book about a magical circus. You know, like a magical circus sounds like fun and exciting. And this was boring. So I don't recommend that one. But like other than that, honestly, I've given a lot of 4 or 5 stars like a lot of 5 stars. I don't normally give books 5 stars, but I've given out it's just been a vibe year for me where like if I enjoyed it, I'm like 5 stars, loved it.
No, same. Like I'm just enjoying life. Like so what are our goals for the second half of the year? Real
500
quick.
subscribers, 500 subscribers on YouTube,
Yes.
obviously. I mean, I'm at 36 books read so far. Oh no, 37 read so far. And my overall goal was 55. So achieve 55. And if I beat it, I'll be happy. Finish the Beaufort Poker Club, finish the Off Campus series, and finish Red Rising. Like, I want to finish all 3 of those series this year and get my physical TBR down, let's say, to 140.
Whoa.
I know.
Boy.
That's gonna be a big push, considering it just keeps going up. We
I
got
know.
another book from a publisher, and I was like, I've got to put this on my TBR list.
That book looks so good though.
It does. It does look good.
Okay, so my goal is to read all of Maggie's books. So I have my little handy dandy flashcard. I actually showed it to her because I'm embarrassing. I've read so much of it so far. I've read 13 of her books. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 more books to read of hers. So we'll see. I want to get all of her books done. I do want to finish Red Rising. I want to read Daggermouth really bad. I wanna finish the series, like, the Shield of Sparrows series. I wanna read book 2 in the Silver Elite series. Like, there's so many books that I wanted
I
to read in the beginning of the
know.
year that we haven't.
Yeah.
So, I'm excited to switch gears to fantasy come fall and give
Yes.
that my attention. But for now, it's the sun is still shining bright. It is a romance summer, so we will pause on that.
Yeah.
And I'm just really excited for ACOTAR. Like, I feel like we should reread ACOTAR, but, like, where do we have the time?
I don't know. Because we were gonna reread it and make your boss and my old boss read it. But I'm thinking, okay, it's already July. Like, how do we fit that in on top of everything else? Because I mean, like, I do want to reread those books ahead of the 6th and 7th book. But on the
I
other
know.
hand, the 6th book, it doesn't it come out? Is it November or October?
October. It's actually like a week before my 30th birthday. Sarah J. Maas was saying happy birthday to me.
Wow, that is so kind of her. She's
Yeah.
such a big fan of the podcast.
Such a big fan. No, it's so special of her to do that for me. I wish it was actually like on my actual birthday. I mean, I think maybe like after we file our taxes on 9/15, we just like dive deep into ACOTAR.
Yeah, we could. I mean, they should
Ooh,
read faster now that we've read them once. But then again, like the second book and Silver Flames are both very long books.
this is actually my third time rereading them. I reread them before Crescent City. So this is my third time, which is fine with me. I can't wait to read Silver Flames again. Oh my god. I love Cassie and Nesta.
Actually have just been wanting to reread Silver Flames without reading the other ones recently. Like I don't know what it is, but recently I've just been like, I'm kind of in a Nesta mood. Like I kind of just want to reread that book and see if it was as good as I remember it being. Because I remember just being like absolutely floored by Silver Flames.
No, it was so good. And I will never take any Nesta slander. Sometimes I have a hard time going back into Feyre's head.
Mm. Which is so hard because you loved Feyre. I mean, at the start,
I
right?
feel like I've always had a soft spot for Nesta though.
No, I did. I did too. And the thing is that I makes me mad is that people don't see that Feyre also has a soft spot for Nesta. Like there are times in the original books where Feyre says things about Nesta that come out. So like Nesta fans are like, okay, it's not just that you got Silver Flames from Nesta's point of view. Feyre was saying these things about Nesta from the start. Like Nesta feels things so deeply, and that's what makes her guarded. And the fact that Nesta could like resist the glamour and all that stuff, like Feyre would note those things, and Feyre doesn't hold a grudge. So it bothers me that people just take their hate of Nesta to an extreme because it's like, okay, some of us are Nesta, so chill.
Well, I have a hard time, I think, going back to Reese and Feyre is because they were so mean to her in Silver Flame. Like, I don't know. I'm really curious to see the next POVs that we're going to read in 6 and 7 and to see what version of Reese and Feyre we're getting. Because I understood why he was, like, kind of a jerk in Silver Flames because, like, Ness and him always bite heads. But, like, I don't know. He, like, kind of gave me the ick a little bit.
Yeah. No, the thing that most people say they hate about him in Silver Flames is that he hid Feyre's like potential death from pregnancy from her. Like he knew stuff about the pregnancy that he didn't tell her, and people were like, okay, but Reese from Feyre's perspective would never do that. And so everyone was like, oh, Sarah just changed him to try and make him the villain. But honestly, if you reread the original books from the perspective of Feyre, who is in love with this man, yes, you're going to get one point of view versus if you read someone else's perspective who doesn't like him, it's like he's probably somewhere in the middle. He's not wholly good and he's not wholly bad, but like it's unfair to be like, oh, Sarah changed him. When Sarah is Reese's biggest offender, like in interviews, she talks about how much she loves him. She didn't change him to make him the villain. She loves Reese Ann. So everyone can just pipe down.
Well, I think it's different than her other series because in her other series, she writes from multiple point of views at all times.
Right.
So
Yeah.
you get the full view of that person from all angles at all times. Where ACOTAR is written solely kind of in Fair's POV. You
Mm-hmm.
get like a little bit of Reese here and there. But like so it's just like such a different like mindset you have to hop into. I also think I struggle because when I first read ACOTAR, it like hit me so hard. I was like, remember I said that video of me like literally crying? I wish I saved it, but it was just like such an emotional book. I hadn't read that good of a fantasy book in so long. So it's hard to go back to that place.
Yeah. But no, it'll be good. Like, I haven't revisited those first books in a long time. Actually, I haven't revisited them at all, other than when I first read them. So, like, I kind of do want to reread them because I don't know. I want to see, like, I guess, if my opinion about things changed. Because I remember reading the first book and being like Tamlin's biggest supporter. And so I kind of want to go back and be like, okay, but Marissa, were the signs there? Are
I had a
you,
red flag.
am I the problem? Because so many people are like, no, I read those books and I never liked Tamlin. And I'm like, really? You don't think he was okay?
No, I think we have to. I think we should record our thoughts. We never really did an episode on all the books. We did an episode on like only on book one, and that was pre-video. So it's due for us to talk about it on video. But overall, I feel like our spirits are high. Our reading is high. We are vibing. We're reading what we want. We're reading the most we've ever have. We are consistent recording. I feel like we're the closest we've ever been.
Yeah.
Life's good.
Life's good. Life's good. And you're engaged.
Yeah, I am.
Life's
So
good. I just got a Ninja Creamy and I was like, dang it, Mom, but I have to start dieting for Kayla's wedding.
I know. Then everyone's been asking me at work, so when's the wedding? I'm like, I don't know.
Like, I only just got the ring. Calm down.
Like, let me enjoy this. And work is like kind of busy right now. Like not busy in the sense where I'm working late, but like busy days. So like, when do you want me to plan a wedding? At work.
Yeah, like I have a full-time job. I'm sorry, but isn't that someone else's job to do?
I know. I need to do all that.
Just
I'm
don't
just vibing right now.
just don't use the wedding dress designer Undone by Kate.
Well, I know I've been seeing all of that. No, I'm gonna get something like I don't need custom. I'm good with something off the rack.
I've been glued to my phone watching all the Undone by Kate videos. So like I'm not sure how this came across my TikTok feed, but like I'm here for it.
Well, it's on our TikTok feed, so I did see that. No, I was more intrigued by the people saying people aren't actually reading, and I was like, how do you talk about a book if you don't read it? But no, I need to be back to bricking my phone better. So yeah, things are good. We will do a July wrap up soon, so check in 2 weeks for that. And actually, I think it might be next week. And then we also have our Fable book of the month, Thorn Bird book review coming out as well. So
Yes.
lots of stuff coming. So definitely hit subscribe and follow us and share your friends and get them to hit subscribe as well. And we'll end it here. This is Kayla.
And Marissa.
And make sure to follow us on Instagram and TikTok at BookToks Podcast. Have a good night.